It was nice.
Did you get recognition for something? I wasn't here. I have to be in.
Grand Marshal of the Parade.
Oh, lovely. Nice. Congratulations.
And
Thank you.
you and
Tom
Tom.
Wright.
Ah, nice. Yeah, I missed it this year. I'm always here, but I missed it this year.
I said that I said I didn't announce it for 20 years. Finally got to be in it. You know?
Okay.
And so I told Nimi, I said, okay, you got the job now. And
Ready to go.
he said, I don't think so. Okay, ready?
Yep.
Okay, let's call the meeting to order of the July 14th meeting, I guess I can say. Everyone get copies of the minutes
Yeah.
of the June 9th meeting.
Did you send them?
Just a packet,
Yeah,
Do you need a packet?
Yeah, when did
I
you
have
send
extra
those?
packets.
It was-
Those packets.
Because
It was on the email,
About a week ago.
let's see,
I looked at that email. But
June,
that's
July
what it was.
14th is when I printed it
Oh, you know what?
off of the,
I
off of
may have
the,
opened it up.
And can we note that Sandy is absent?
you take a minute.
I think Rose is.
Yeah, I can take minutes when I get home.
Okay.
Okay. When you
I'll
get
just
home-
rewatch it.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Gotcha.
still at work. That's why I'm on remote.
Okay, so are there any corrections or additions to the minutes?
No. Not that
I didn't see anything myself, but there could have been something. So, Ms. Starner, you did a real nice job of taking the minutes.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
just wanted to note, because I'm not sure that you've all seen the action minute template. Rose has still been doing the more traditional minutes, but the council did vote that the council and all committees would switch to action minutes, which is this format, and it basically tells you start, stop times, and then it's bulleted discussions instead of
Oh,
kind of the more lengthy discussions. The council had voted on that several months ago, so that's why they look different, in case anyone was wondering.
Don't, I'm lost.
This, you guys,
This
just the format.
Oh, I
That's
got you.
wanted to
Okay.
know
How
the
there's
format's
bullets here
different.
instead of lengthy
Yeah,
paragraphs.
got you. Okay. Yeah.
And I can start using that format going forward, Chelsea.
Okay, that sounds good, Rose.
Okay, with no corrections or additions to minutes, all those in favor to approve them as printed, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so motion, minutes approved. Okay, so our next item is the Marys River Park Marys River Park and Natural Area Disc Golf Signage. This is somebody,
Yeah, so
this.
I'm gonna let Rose talk about this, but
Okay.
just so you can hold it up,
Okay.
just so everyone can see it. This is the sign that was dropped off that Justin Wolford made for the Marys River Park Disc Golf Course. And Rose, would you like to tell us more about this?
Sure. So yeah, it was Abigail and Justin that approached the Park Advisory Board last year about doing some improvements on the actual pads of on the disc golf course, and then also making a new sign because the sign had been weather worn and was pretty faded and hard to read. And so they created that. They have a relatively new business, and I might butcher the name, but I believe it's Fenner Creations. And so they have started like being at local markets and stuff. And they said that they would like to donate that sign instead of, we had originally talked about giving them some sort of compensation. But they said that because it's been a while and they kind of had some other things going on, that they're just going to donate the sign. And so what they kind of guided me is that it should be the same size as the existing sign that's at Mary River Park. And so just 4 screws in the corner would be able to install the sign.
Great.
okay.
okay, so this would be a,
So
Very
the
nice
gray,
sign.
the gray part is the pathways then, I assume?
Yes, I think so.
And they said that they are still potentially considering helping with the repairing of the pads at a future time, but they do understand that there was someone else who was interested in helping that. If memory serves me correctly, we had heard from someone, but then kind of lost contact with them. So I think they are open to potentially helping, but that's another opportunity that might come down the way.
Okay.
I thought when we were there on that one weed pull day,
Yeah,
weren't the scouts working on the disc golf course?
I don't remember. I was too busy putting.
I can ask Public Works if they can give us an update for that.
Okay. 'Cause I thought that's what they were there working on something, and I thought it was.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember what they were
I
doing.
thought it was the
Yeah.
disc golf course, but I was too busy
Okay.
pulling weeds.
The other thing I wanted to note is that I did start a conversation with Public Works about signage. Sandy had asked about changing the signage at the park to reflect the natural area that was added to the name. I'm guessing that's going to be a little bit of a process because signs are not, the large signs like that are not cheap. So it just depends on what's there and what needs to be replaced. But I did start that conversation with Public Works, so we'll see
Okay.
what we need to do. I did change the name on our website, so it now
Oh,
has the updated
okay.
name.
It's official then.
Yeah, so
Good.
I guess it's official. It's on the website.
Nice.
So just to note that we are looking at making changes to any signage that's in the park as well.
Okay,
So what, can you tell me what the rule is about the golf business here? Anybody can go and practice golf, frisbee golf anytime they want to, right?
yes.
You just have to get out of their way,
Mhm.
because they nearly decapitated me one day. They didn't know I was picking berries, but I was. And then when they have their tournaments or their fancy, whatever they call those, do we need to stay out of that area or just be aware that they're flinging these things around? Or
I think it's more of an awareness, so parks are generally always considered an open space, you know, unless there's certain circumstances where things are, you know, like if there's a beer garden and it's,
yeah.
you know, partitioned off. But yeah, I think it's more of an awareness. I don't know in the past if we've put out any kind of information when those events are there, but I
don't
assume
think
that
so.
when there's a larger event that you kind of know what's going on, so.
I used to play at a little golf myself. But the way those look there, that just looks strange to me.
Mhm.
Because usually you go, when you finish your hole, you go close to get to the next one,
Mhm.
you know. So I don't know, it looks like the way they're drawn up, I don't know.
I just see
But
those.
but
basket
frisbee
things.
golf's understanded to people. So.
I presume they do.
So yes, I'll pass that sign on to Public Works and let them know, Rose, what you said about
Do you have
installing
any-
it and see if we can get that up.
Perfect. Thank you.
So do we need to officially thank these people or?
I was hoping that we'd be able to write them maybe a card on behalf of the Park Advisory Board, maybe sign it at next month's meeting,
Mhm.
and I could deliver it.
Okay,
Okay, good idea.
I'll look at that and bring something to the next meeting.
I know the young man that's been all over the world that started this
Oh.
down here. He's, I think he's still traveling. He's
Yes.
won a lot
Yeah,
of
he
money
still plays.
Playing good frisbee golf.
Professionally.
Professionally.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been all over the world.
Mhm.
That's good.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, so the next item on the, anything else on the frisbee golf, excuse me, before we go on? As the music in the park update,
Yeah, so still going well. I was hoping that we could talk about who thinks that they are going to be at the next two concerts. So the 21st and
I will
31st.
be at the next one, but then I will not be at the rest of them.
Okay, so you'll be at the
So
21st.
if you need me to do something at this, it's a week from tonight.
And I'll be gone.
you
on the
still have
21st 'cause
time to
that's still
change your
Worlds.
vacation.
Yeah.
But I'll be there on the 31st.
You'll be there on the 31st, okay.
So the last day of, wait a minute, when's the next one? 21st?
I think it's the 21st and
21st week
31st.
of
Yeah.
today.
Trying to find mine. Oh, here it is.
Tonight.
Yeah.
The 21st is the next one. That's the marimba,
Next week,
marimba band, and I think that's a Thursday. That's a,
that's Thursday, the 21st.
21st is
Thursday,
Thursday.
and the 31st is family tradition.
21st and 31st.
I'll be there the 21st. I'm
The
pretty sure
21st.
31st I'll be fine.
Okay,
I think I can be there for both of those.
okay.
And I've still got that one jar at home.
So
Okay.
does,
You have one?
so do we want to go ahead and
I'll give it to somebody else.
go ahead and sign up?
Yeah, I'm
You want to
ready.
introduce the band?
Oh, I'm writing down names. Rose, how about you? Will you be at either of these?
I believe that I'll be able to make both of them.
Okay,
Sandy will come if she can, I'm sure.
yeah, we'll just count Sandy as if she can. Does anyone want to volunteer for the 21st to announce the bands?
Well, seeing that I reneged on that one time, I'll do it if
Would
you
you like
like.
to do that, Wendy?
And if I'm not able to, I'll let you know.
That's fine. I'll be there too. So unless, something happens, but it gives backups at least.
Okay.
And then the other members that are there, if you can plan to do the walk around for the donations,
Shake people
talk to
down.
folks,
the
answer
other-
questions.
The other jar, Kay McGee took it. How do we get it back? Or will she be there?
Well, I think we only need one jar
Yeah, I
because the
think so
thing,
too.
we kind of set the jar and then there's just the walk around period where you probably don't want to accidentally have two jars and two people asking the same people. And then we can just put the jar back.
Kay and John usually come anyway.
Yeah, so-
There's something else going
Oh.
on.
She will be there, I think, the rest of the meetings unless something,
Oh,
unforeseen comes up, but she has said she'll be there at the concert. She said she'll be there for the next 4.
Because she has the jar with a sign on it. The one I have doesn't have a sign on it.
Oh, okay. I think I have it. I think it came back here.
Oh, okay.
I think
So,
it's in my office.
so I shouldn't, and it's not necessary for me to bring the other one.
I don't think so. Yeah, the one with the sign I believe that's
Okay.
in my office.
If
Um,
something happens to that one, then I can run home quickly and get the other one.
Okay. Okay, Rose or Carol, do you want to announce at the 31st potentially?
July 31st is.
Oh,
Sunday.
31st, July
Sunday.
31st.
It's a
Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah, that's the Sunday one.
I can do it.
You can do it? Okay.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay. Okay. All right, well, that takes care of that, and then we'll talk about the August concerts at our next meeting.
Okay.
Unless there's anything else anyone has questions about, concerns.
Which bands are playing those days?
The Ancient Ways Tashinga Band
Oh.
is playing
Yes,
on Thursday.
Oh,
That's,
and
that's the marimba band. that
yeah.
Plays
I-
up to over here. I think they play at the food.
Is it family tradition?
Family
it's,
tradition is July the 31st.
Yeah, family
Family
tradition.
tradition.
Mhm.
Have we had them before?
Yeah,
I
they
thought
had a
so.
different name before,
Yeah.
which was
It was something with this, it was, I
His
know,
Son, something.
Yeah.
Sons.
I know the family
They have
real
played
well.
before. They just
Yeah.
changed their band name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I wouldn't mind, I know the family for years. I wouldn't mind introducing that one.
On that one?
Yeah.
Okay, are you okay with that,
That's
Carol?
fine.
Carol says, I'm fine with that. Okay.
Oh, did you want that one?
I think she's just trying to help
I'm
out.
just,
If you
yeah,
know the
I can do
family-
I'll do
Okay.
the 28th of August
Okay,
then instead of
Okay.
the last one. Yeah,
That's
Okay.
a Sunday, yeah.
I'm iffy on the 18th in
Okay.
August. I'm gonna be house sitting and dog sitting up in Oregon City, so I'm gonna be running back and forth. So
Okay.
we'll
that's
see
fine.
if that works out. I'll be here, but
All right.
Okay,
no
so-
promise.
I have one thing that's connected to that. The sign that's up in your Parkdale, it, one of the straps is broken off, so it's flapping in the wind.
Okay.
One of the bottoms ones. And I looked at it to see if I could retie it, but it's broken, so
Okay.
it needs to be tied in.
I will notify Public Works of that.
Thank you.
Do we ever try to figure out how many people are actually there?
Dale and I
Count
do
them,
a very, very official count.
Okay.
It's not very official, but we've done kind of general counts. So it's hard because they move between the playground.
Right.
And
That's
but
true,
we
too.
kind of, I think that first time we counted everybody and I got about 100 on that first one.
Really?
earlier in the, between the playground area and.
I mean, it should be more.
I even count the
relevant
dogs.
as weather gets better.
Right. Yeah, the weather, so earlier today, Janelle that runs the farmer's market was saying we had, cold weather,
Yeah.
torrential rain, and then the 96, and it's been the same for the music in the park.
Yeah.
So we've had the same, and so there, it's been a little off. I'm sure it's hard to judge. Did you count? You counted the different one too, didn't you not, Dale? How did you get there?
I think the last one I counted seemed to me like it was close to 125.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. So they're,
Wow, that's,
And you look out there, it doesn't
It
look
doesn't
like it.
look
till you
like
start
it.
counting.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
spread
and
out.
people move around a
That's
lot
true.
when they're eating,
Yeah.
doing the lion, they're moving a lot.
That's right.
So,
Yeah.
but if you watch them, they're kind of coming back and, dispersing, chasing after kids.
it seems like it's, the numbers are higher than they were, well, pre-COVID, of course.
Yeah.
I don't know if we ever got that many. I mean, occasionally we get more than at another time, but that's
Yeah,
pretty good.
just,
Yeah.
well, when we started this Music in the Park, it was an agreement that we would give it 5 years.
Yeah,
In other words, don't try a couple of it while it didn't
Mhm.
work.
Mhm.
It takes a while to get people
Oh,
to
sure.
adjust it,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
it's paid off.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's gotten better every year.
Yes,
I
it
think
has.
it's- Yeah, I think it's
Despite the
really,
weather.
really well attended. And if the weather can cooperate for the next 4
Mhm.
concerts, I think there'll be even more people there, just like you said, the weather in summer.
Generally, if it's from what I can recall, the worst weather we had has always been in June.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Mhm.
true. Mhm.
Yeah, June was a hard month.
Shouldn't be.
If I could, speaking along the lines of preparing for weather, I remember last year we had to cancel one of the Music in the Park events because of the heat. Do we have any kind of processes that we would want to follow as far as if it gets to this temperature, we will cancel?
Why
Well,
would we cancel?
Yeah, so I did ask about what constitutes cancellation.
116.
Oh, when we had the
Last
heat
year.
wave.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and basically what I was told is if the band is willing to play, the band can come play.
Mm.
And so I think at this point, it's very contingent on, is the band willing to play? Now, are people willing to come out? The band may say, I'll play in 20-degree weather. People may not want to come out in 20-degree weather. So I think it can impact who comes, but certainly if there's some kind of emergency weather situation, we would consider that at that time. But I'm sure the band members would also be reaching out to us to communicate that. Yeah.
And just like
That-
it
that
is
sounds like
tonight,
good
we always, by having a 6 to 8 time in the
Mhm.
evening, we will have wind, usually always.
That's true.
So
Mhm.
that's something to
It
to
cools
deal
things
with.
off a bit.
Yeah, I remember the wind when the irrigation was going on the baseball
It
field.
blew over on
Yes.
us.
The water over there. on
Nice.
the-
But it was hot.
A
so it was
misting
okay.
station. We
Yeah.
just call it a misting
Sure was.
station. We put that in for the concert goers.
Okay, so anything else on the Music in the Park? If not, we'll move on to the Veterans Memorial Park update. Do you have something on that, Chelsea?
Yes, I just want to give a brief update on that. So I've been talking to 2 landscape architects. I'm waiting to hear back from one. If I don't hear back by tomorrow, I'm just going to go with one of them. Just on availability to do what we have now is like an engineered drawing that shows like pathways of the correct width, but we didn't really get out of that any sort of additional placement ideas for where to place things, landscaping, and what I like to call a pretty plan that we can put on a website and say, we're building this park, we're accepting donations. I think you have to have something visual for a lot of people to look at. They can't always envision what you're going for. So that hopefully now we're gonna get on board with this landscape architect. There's a fairly quick turnaround on that, at least by the one person. I'm waiting for timelines on the second person, but fairly quick turnaround. So hopefully we'll have that and we'll have that as a visual to put up when you talk to people about it. You'll have something visual to show them. In conjunction with that happening, we're getting a survey done so that they're accurately able to do that plan. And that will help with us getting the construction plans, which will come after we agree on this is where everything is gonna go. The memorial itself has been kind of back and forth. I did talk to our local artist about the newer concept, and there's a concern about the eagle being any further down than 8 or 9 feet, which is very substantial. And it really eliminates being able to do the kind of the mixed concept in the way that we were looking at it, because it's up so high that any kind of additional granite that you would put on the sides would, the eagle would be
Sticking
up
too high.
here and
Oh.
everything else would be here. So
That's
we talked about it internally, and it just, we don't think that will work. So secondary to that, we've looked at potential, this is an example of one that's in a different state, but they have a bronze eagle. So sorry that people not being can't see. But it could look something similar to this, where there's some sort of a pedestal that the eagle would sit on. This, as you can see in this picture, is up higher than it looks like there. And then we could have these flanking. One thought is to have the seals on those. And then here's an additional thought, which would save quite a bit of money, is to have a plaque that you could either install here or down here, that could have the seals and the plaque information. And you can pass those around and look at them. So I just wanted to make you aware that we've taken a little bit of a different direction, but we're trying to still stick to that concept that you and the council had looked at. This one, it's a nice visual because they have the flag poles, and you can kind of see they have sort of a similar setup to what we're looking at.
And when the Lions Club built that one that's in the regular city park.
City Park, yeah.
That was our big concern with being vandalized, and it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, I think in this case, it really is a matter of, businesses don't have to take your work the way that you want to have it. And I think we're not going to be able to come to an arrangement that works for everyone. So in this case, I think that we need to have that eagle down a lot further. We want to have it out of general touching reach. You want to have it far enough up that it's not like you just walk up to it and grab it, but
Or somebody do something like graffiti or something,
sure, yeah,
Climb on.
right. So we're kind of looking at that as an option. If we can't get something up high enough for the artist to feel like it's a good location. The other thing was that that he was not really a fan of affixing it to like a granite pillar and wanted to do his own structure, which was kind of, that's an idea, was that it was just that, but then you can't incorporate any of the granite in. And I think the family is really interested in having something that looks like a traditional veterans memorial. They're fine having something artistic added to it in addition, but they really would like to see that. And I think a lot of veterans are used to seeing that as a veterans memorial, something a little bit more traditional. So this route would likely kind of cover that aspect a little bit better.
What about putting a like a metal plaque having, what's his name? The guy. Oh, goodness name.
Well, we're going to have some plaques saying the different militaries.
Yeah, I suppose if you to put the eagle as a plaque. I mean, not rectangular, but just the eagle onto the granite, rather than have a freestanding statue. It probably wouldn't be big enough, though. Right?
Yeah, I think the size might be an issue.
And this plaque there has a motto on it, but then below it, it has
The seals.
the 5 seals. Are there 5 now, or are there 6?
There's 6, so that one doesn't have the
Right.
6th one, but, and that it probably is going to boil down to what is the cost? So what is the cost to get something like this versus, having this with the plaque? It probably will become a factor
Well, and I noticed the ones there at the park where the music is, the fish and birds and things they have there. He's got those on, I'm gonna say a basalt
Yep.
column.
Mm.
or something like that. Is that what he was thinking?
Well,
about?
we talked about that, and this size that would be needed is like 24 to 28 inches around, 8-9 feet tall. Like I'm talking huge. And it for where it is, it doesn't make a lot of sense. It's just not a big enough park to have something that large. It would look out of place.
But when the Lions Club built that one in the city park, their thought was to put something on there that people wouldn't mind having it in a wedding picture or something in their
Right.
backdrop,
Right.
you know, as opposed to.
Yeah. So
Chelsea, are we too far along in the process to maybe reconsider separating the monument that has like the sign and the seals from the eagle and having the eagle placed elsewhere?
So I did bring up the potential of maybe putting an eagle, maybe smaller, I don't know, like somewhere on the pavilion. Maybe, you know, pavilion's already up there. Maybe that would be a possibility. I just think that the overall, I went down there and I visually looked at what it looks like to be, I mean, we marked it off with tape to really look at it. He really was very thorough in our conversation. But looking at it, it's very substantial and very tall, and it for that small of a park, it's just, if it were in a larger park, it would have a different sort of impact. But it was really substantial to look at it. So it is a thought to maybe have that elsewhere in the park. I mean, we have other projects coming up, so there is always the possibility of that. We do already have one of these sculptures in one of our parks, actually 2 of our parks. So, you know, if we can't get to that route, we can't. The problem for me is it's timing. So I'm at a point where I can't keep going back and forth trying to accommodate this. I have to order something or we're going to lose our grant funding, and that would be really, really sad. So what I thought is, kind of like you're saying, Rose, is we need to move forward with this. It looks like it's a little bit of a different direction, similar but different. And then if there is something we can do down the road, that can be done with additional funding that's not this grant funding that's on a deadline.
And it would,
That makes sense.
I think it would be good because we've got this money, but it won't complete the park. But
Right.
I think we can use this for leverage. It says, can we get to complete the park?
Right.
So was he considering using a sculpture he's already made or making a new
No,
one?
he was going to make something.
So, and is he not willing to downsize it?
He's not, no, basically this is not gonna work for him. And so, and that's fine. People they have their own vision.
Yeah,
Sure,
And
that's fine.
he's the artist, yeah.
He is. And so, like I said, it might work that we can do something different that will, you know, be wrapped into the park that will work better for this particular application. He just didn't
It's not a
feel
big
like
park.
it would work for
And
what he
So we're
needs.
thinking maybe like the bronze eagle up there.
Yeah, this one is, so maybe a bronze eagle instead. They have one like this, but you can actually get it in just the solid bronze color. I
You
just
get it
couldn't find a
on
picture.
Amazon, or does it,
They have,
Yeah.
so it just depends. There are some,
I mean, they're
even
not-
Oregon companies that have
Oh, okay.
standard, sort of standard. They're not like mass produced, but they may say, you can go to their site and say, I want the eagle that looks like that. It's probably gonna be down to cost. One of the companies that was Oregon was $35,000 for an eagle. That's, it's fairly life size. I think it's like 52 inches across. It's similar. But then I found a company in Ohio that was also just a more of an artist company, and it was like, this one was $12,000. So there's substantial differences. I also know the metal prices, it changes day to day right now. So we really just need to, I'm, gonna price out the columns with the engraving and then without the engraving, so we can see, can we afford to get the columns with the engraving? So like, or they would have the seals in them like this,
Yeah.
or, what do we need to do here? Do we need to eliminate the columns? We just have to see what we can afford. So I'm going to be pricing out these. I'll ask our
That's
local
nice.
granite company if this is something that he can do.
Mhm.
But I'm going to ask some other people too that do more like gravestones and memorials because they have all the capabilities to do
Yeah,
it, where he
sure.
might have to sub all of that out and it may end up costing too much. So that's what I'm working on right now.
How many flagpoles will there be?
I believe that the original plan called for 3 for the state POW and the American flag. So
Oh, I see.
yeah, so it'll look similar to this with the 3 flags.
And do they stay up all the time?
So
Will there be lights on them?
I think when you did the neighborhood survey, the results were that a lot of the people that lived right around it really were concerned about having the flagpoles at all because they do make noise. So I think that the decision was, yeah, well, and they kind of clank. They
Yeah,
clank
we
in the
actually
wind.
get complaints at the
The rope
school there
thing.
because
Oh,
Right.
the rope.
the chain and
Yeah.
the rope.
Yeah.
Oh,
thing
yeah.
against the post.
So I think the thought was to do something to keep them quiet most of the time. And then when there are days of remembrance,
Oh, I
that
see.
the flags could be put up for those.
Who will put those flags up? Rotary?
Probably Public Works, maybe
Oh.
we'll have a veterans organization that that takes that on as something that they do.
Could be a scout group.
Yeah,
Mhm,
yeah,
Okay.
Rotary's already experienced on doing that stuff. So.
great,
We are.
great. So yes, it would be nice if we had a group that,
Well, and
Could help
also
out
in
with that.
your discussion with the landscape architects, it would be good to get their info, get their feeling as far as how big it should be, because that's
Mhm.
kind of been my
right,
Mhm.
concern about that. It's a small
I-
park
It's
and
not a
then there's a
very
big
lot
area,
of stuff they
yeah.
want in there.
yes.
Is that really all gonna work?
I think, yeah, I think most of it will work. I think the memorial area itself was way too large. So I have talked to both the landscape architects about scaling that back.
Okay.
And maybe making it, again, it does boil down to money, but maybe making it a little bit more of an organic, rounded area instead of just a square, or rectangle shape of concrete.
Mhm.
So hopefully that's one of the questions that I've asked them. I've said, we need to focus on that, and then we need to figure out how these other features can fit in the park and where they make the most sense and look cohesive. So yeah, so they'll be looking at that. Did anyone have any other questions about?
Well, the only other thing is that the Rotary Club would like to plant a tree.
Okay,
And perhaps when that situation comes up as far as plantings, if there's a specific tree that would need to be planted, we'd like to do that.
okay. And this plan that I'm going to be working on will have tree placements on it
Okay.
as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I'm interested in if they're gonna keep any of it. I know that there's a discussion about the big tree.
Yeah, the big
Yeah.
tree.
But then there's several fruit trees.
Mm.
Yeah, the rest of the trees are not really salvageable. They're very
No,
old.
the
And
fruit
the
trees
street-
are- fruit trees?
The
I know,
street
but
trees are,
They're
So
not gonna keep those?
they're just thinking about clearing
Yes.
it out.
Oh.
Yeah. yeah, and the large tree, the intent is to try to keep it, the family would like to keep it. I can't foresee what will happen down the road. I know that the tree that site, if you just look at the canopy, that's supposed to give you a general indicator of how far the roots extend.
Yeah.
According to the
Yeah.
arborist, it should have a 20-year life left.
Yeah, but as far as building, so when you look
Oh,
at
yes.
where is that extending and will contractors actually be able to dig the memorial out?
Oh.
We don't know that yet. So it's sort of one of those things that's kind of a wait and see as we get into it. The hope is to try to keep the tree, that it does have, maybe a
Mhm.
decade or two left.
Because I think the
But-
family had a picture of the boy planting
Yes.
that tree.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
and that's.
but my point was, maybe you plant a heritage tree that's gonna be there for 100 years.
Right.
And plan the park around it.
So those are all things to look at, and I think the
Yeah.
contractors, once we get contractors on board, that we're gonna try to work all of this out,
Right.
but we would like to retain the tree, but it realistically, is it something that, we don't know how far that extends, and if it's a matter of, the tree is going to die because we have to cut through the root. We don't know. So we'll look at that as we get closer into the project. I think that the intent is keep it, and then we'll have to see how it plays out.
And I think the family would work with us on that.
I think that if we, yes, showed good faith and trying to replace it,
Yeah.
maybe even with a similar species, that they would probably feel fine about that too. So
Yeah.
we'll see how it kind of pans out and what they can and can't do to work around it.
Okay, so anything else on that? I do have one more other question I'd like to ask you. I noticed down at Bud's, there's a big arch there.
Mhm.
Is that the one
the
that's coming out for
cemetery.
the cemetery?
Yes.
The people, and that's still
When
gonna
is
go
that?
in.
Saturday? When are they doing that?
Still gonna go in there in the park there, just by the Mormon church.
I don't know where he's putting that, but when I was there,
That's what we looked at.
he has all of the
Yeah.
wording on it now.
Yeah.
Well, signs
It's
up.
going up in the cemetery, isn't it?
Signs it
Yes.
up in his lot, but
Huh?
it goes out there on the highway.
He's working on it over here on.
Oh, that's going in the cemetery, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
there-
that the art is, okay.
Yes, there is a, the Shipley
Shipley, yeah.
memorial sign has gone up. It's by Newton Creek Park. And then there's
yes.
going to be a dedication on the
Oh, is
23rd.
it up? I haven't seen
They
it.
just put it up,
They
and
just put it up.
Yvonne was at our meeting earlier. There are so many things happening in Philomath. If you want something to do on the 23rd of this month, there are lots of things. So there's the museum's having a family day.
Oh,
We've
they
got the
are.
sip and stroll. We've got the dedication of the Shipley Memorial marker. So it's quite a day for Philomath. So,
Never a dull moment.
right,
Never a dull
right.
moment.
Where exactly is that dedication going to take place?
It's right there at Newton Creek Park, on
So
the
the-
corner,
That's James Street
James.
that the LDS church is on.
Mhm.
So the church is here, the bike path is here, the creek is here, and then I think the sign is over here, west of.
I should go and look and see.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, you should be able to, I heard that it's up. so.
Yeah,
It's,
definitely.
yeah, it's
I
right
just happened to
before it
notice it when I
hits
went
the
by.
bike
Okay.
path, where the bike
Okay.
path
Yeah.
starts right there.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's in that area.
Before we get too far away from the Veterans Memorial, Lindy, you had mentioned that the Rotary wanted to plant a tree. Are they
Yes.
no longer planning on doing the peace pole?
Oh, no, both.
Oh, okay, I missed that part.
The what?
The peaceful,
Peaceful.
we've talked about that before,
Oh, the piece.
the peaceful.
They're not huge. They're,
They're
5
small,
feet,
yeah.
something
It's a
like that.
fence post essentially, but they
Essentially,
look
yeah.
nicer, but
it
it's
doesn't
that
need a big
size.
space or anything.
Right, you just need space to move around it. So that shouldn't be a problem. I think you'd all talked about wanting to see that happen in the park.
And we
so-
haven't actually gone looking for one,
Okay,
but
but yeah,
whenever- whenever the Parks Board said it's okay to do that, then we'll.
yes, so we'll just try to make sure they include an
Yeah.
area.
Thanks.
There should be a fairly wide grassy area.
Or even
and
just
one
along the
portion.
path or something.
Sure,
That's-
okay.
Thanks.
Okay, we have no other business. The meeting stands adjourned.
I have one
Well,
little
it
thing.
says staff
Oh,
updates.
sorry.
Oh,
hold
yeah.
on.
So yes, I don't have any updates, but if anyone else has any updates, I think Yvonne has.
I do. I
something.
just want to tell you what's going on with all the fun stuff. So Talk Like a Pirate Day, this is a little miniature poster. If you want to pass them around, it's happening. They're all happening.
I'll take a few of them.
Okay.
Take a couple of those.
I need one more.
And
You'll see these all over
Pile of
town.
them.
You'll see the big
Okay.
posters
I got my
all over
pile
town.
today.
I see one in a music store.
Oh, September. Oh, okay.
Oh, if anybody wants to help at any of these events, like if you think, I really want to go even just listen to the bluegrass or whatever, I need some helpers. Taking money at the door and cleaning up and setting up, things like that. And then the other one is the Bluegrass Workshop Jam. These are all starting in September. And I have guest artists lined up from Portland, good musicians that I know, and the first 30 minutes will be a workshop, and then we split into jams.
So
And I-
where will these be?
these are all at the Grange.
Great.
Yeah. And Grange has been really supportive. And the last one are the country dances, basically line dancing. And these may needs some changes, but the dates and the place are the same. There just might be a few little changes, like we might not do food for sale, and I mean, there's some other little planning in the works right now. So, but that's what's happening, and these are sponsored by Parks and Rec.
Okay.
Except for I didn't get the sign on this, the Talk Like a Pirate poster I didn't do, and I didn't have the logo by then, but the other ones have it. So the Grange logo's on there and the Parks and Rec logo's on there. So
Are these events on the city webpage?
yeah, Talk Like a Pirate is posted on there right now. I haven't seen the other ones posted, but I've sent them to Ruth.
September. I
Oh,
see.
good.
Yeah. And I've advertised radio stations, online newsletters, posters all over town, fireman building, the fire station.
And Yvonne is working on getting some social media posts that she's so happy about. So
Any
they can be shared.
volunteers?
She may need some volunteers to help with that.
I am not a social media person, but I do have a Facebook page.
Yeah.
Yvonne, I can help you with that.
That would be great.
Ooh.
Yeah, let's connect.
Okay, that
I'd
sounds
like to
good.
announce one more thing. The Lions Club is having their book sale this weekend.
It is this weekend, yes.
Yes, and-
Yeah,
and,
it's in the signs.
Saturday is the day that you get, all you can put in a
Right.
grocery bag for
That
$4.
starts at noon.
Starts at noon, yes.
This reminded me though, at our last Music in the Park, we had a little thing like this with the dates on it, which was, I think, a
Oh,
good thing to do.
All the rest of the
Yeah.
days.
Hand
Mhm.
Bring
them
more
out
of those.
to people to
Yes,
say,
good
hey,
idea.
this isn't the only one, we've got more to come.
Actually, I think somebody asked for one too.
Did they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
so-
wasn't at the last one, so I didn't
Mm.
I
bring
don't
my
know who
staff.
did that. I don't know who did that, but that was a great
It
idea.
might have been Swansea.
I mean, it's also another thing we can do when we're going, here, I'll give
Yeah.
you this if you give me money.
Right.
I'm also going to see, we had those stickers here for donating. I'll see if we have, I think we still have a stack, or if the Performing Arts Benefit Fund can give us some additional stickers. 'Cause I think you or Sandy had said before, if you donated, you got a sticker.
I don't know
So
anything
I'll
about
see if we have those to try to pass out to you.
Okay.
These events, I mean, I'm really hoping that we can get the youth involved in these, and I like
Mhm.
bringing all the generations together. It's great for the different generations to mingle and learn from each other, so. And if anybody wants to join the Talk Like a Pirate contest,
The contest.
there are prizes. Yeah, there's a pirate talking contest and a kids costume contest, and, oh, we have a new development that Talk Like a Pirate. I met Grandma Mermaid. She dresses like a mermaid. She plays the harp.
Oh,
So she's coming,
She sits on a rock.
she's gonna come and she's gonna help with the kids' activities and stuff. So it'll be fun,
My wife would probably say, don't
You
you
must
do it.
put
You
this
make a
somewhere.
fool of yourself enough. You know?
just like everybody else is gonna do it.
Are we adjourned, Dale?
Huh? Yeah, we're
what is
adjourned.
this staff updates? What's that?
Pardon me?
Oh, that's just, anybody
That's
has
what we were
anything else?
just,
Oh.
yeah.